Hello, Caterina. Welcome
Hello, my
to,
friend.
thank you. Welcome to Courage to Live Your Dream talk show. And I'm excited to have you on here. For those of you who don't know, Caterina is a truly special lady, and I am honored to know her and to have her be a part of our program today. And before getting started, we're going to have her tell us just a little bit about who she is. So, Caterina, give us a brief synopsis of who Caterina is and why we should listen to you.
Okay, well, my name is Caterina Rando, and I'm on a mission to support women entrepreneurs to be themselves, do their thing, serve their people, and massively monetize their mastery. Because if we cannot, if we cannot generate revenue, we can't continue to do our thing. We can't give from an empty cup. So that's part of my mission is economic empowerment for women.
And she does a great job of it too. So, tell us, why did you choose to build your business around this particular niche?
You know, I used to own a cafe and catering business, and I loved having a cafe, and I loved having a business, and I loved people coming in and out all day long and getting to know the neighborhood. I just, though, didn't think that food service was my life or my calling. And one day, this lady came in my cafe and she thanked me for some business advice I'd given her. And her gratitude literally touched my heart. I felt a pang of bliss. And I thought, wow, this is what I want to do. I want to help women grow their businesses. And that's what I did. That's what I sold my cafe. That's what I started to do. And I haven't looked back. It's looked a lot of different ways over the years. You know, we've done coaching, we've done publishing, we've done trainings, we do retreats and programs, and it's all been around women empowerment through.
So, what skills do you feel you already have that help you to develop your business?
My friend, that's a great question. Let's see. Well, what I already had was I already knew how to stand up and give a talk and speak. Of course, I'm a lot better now than I used to be. I had the willingness. Maybe I didn't even have the mastery, but I had the willingness to stand up and give a talk, and that helped me get clients. Also, being personable and outgoing and happy to talk to people. The other thing is I am and I have always been willing to be uncomfortable. And that is really important for business. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, forget about it. And a skill that I have developed over the years, Luana, which I think is very important, is the ability to manage my disappointment.
Mm.
You know, you can't make everybody happy. You can't, everybody's not going to say yes. There are going to be people that that say yes and then say no. There's a lot of disappointment. I say disappointment du jour that can occur in our business, and we have to not let it take us out. We have to let it fuel us to create more and have us be even more determined rather than less determined. So that's a skill that I've developed that I talk about and teach, which I think is essential. And there's more, but we'll go with that for now.
That's probably one of the most important things because you do get a lot of disappointments. You get people telling you, "Oh, you're wasting your time. Why are you doing that?" You
Mm-hmm.
can get a job and make more money than what you're trying to make there. You don't know enough. You get all these things that people say to you, and it makes it rough, especially if you already have some doubts in your own head. So, how do you suggest a person combat when they have these doubts and other people are throwing things in their way? How do you combat that so that you go on
Yeah,
and do
yeah. Well, you know, I first of all, what you're talking about, Luana, part of it is boundaries. You know, I remember many years ago, I got off a stage. I had given a talk. I got off a stage, and a woman looked at me and she said, "Can I give you some feedback?" And I knew that it wasn't going to be, my intuition said that, you know, she wasn't looking to tell me I was an awesome speaker. But I looked at her and I said, only if you want to tell me how awesome it was. And that was the first day that I set my boundary around, speaking is a very vulnerable thing. And being in business is also vulnerable. It's not as obviously and insta vulnerable as standing up to give a talk. Therefore, we have to have boundaries. And I only take feedback from people I respect and admire. I don't take feedback from every Tom, Dick, and Harry, Mary Jane, Sue in my audience because and now I probably could, Luana, but in the early years, I would get 99 comments about how excellent it was and how awesome it was, and one person would say one thing, like, "Oh, I didn't learn anything new," or heard it all before, or something, and or my shirt was too tight, some, and that's what would stick with me for years. I mean, I've been doing this 25 years. I could tell you every negative comment I've gotten over the last 25 years. And that's why, especially for sensitive people, I don't want feedback from everybody. I want feedback from what I call trusted sources. And it's the same thing, Luana, when people are saying to you, well, what do you think you're doing? And who do you think you are? And it's like, look, they're not paying your bills. And this is, again, where you have boundaries. You surround yourself with people that lift you up. If they're bringing you down, they don't get to hang out with you.
Well, do you now, or especially in those early years when you first started, did you have a mentor or a coach, someone that you could go to?
Yeah.
Uh, do
Yeah.
you
And as you know,
recommend
and
that?
I just saw a post today from one of my clients on Facebook,
Mhm.
and she's a coach, and it said, everybody needs a coach. And I will tell you, I had a mentor. You've probably heard me talk about him, Luana. Irv Spivak was one of my early mentors, who was a great friend, and he was very loving and supportive my whole life. He's left the planet now. And he was my mentor. My first business coach was my mentor. She's the one that got me into coaching. And and of course, I've had many others over the years. I've worked with Lisa Nichols. Well, I did coaching. I loved Lisa Nichols. And I've had many other group programs that I've been in. In fact, I always have a coach. I have a coach right now. I'm going to be with her at least for a couple more years. I've had when I don't have a coach, I'm looking for my next coach, and everything's different. Like my coach right now, she's not a speaking coach. She's a more operations and scaling your business, and things that are different than where I feel I have mastery, which is more speaking and selling and serving.
So, do you suggest when a person first start out and they're looking for a coach or a mentor,
Yes.
specifically a coach, um, should they look around for whatever the problem that they are dealing with and find someone who is good in that area to coach them, or
Okay.
just
So
get any
here,
coach?
my friend, here's the thing. You coach with someone very, very important who has the same values as you.
Mm.
Now, they also, of course, have to have expertise in the area where you want more expertise, of course. They will have to have mastery in the area where you want mastery. The thing is, though, that it's all about our values because we all teach from our values. And if I'm operating with integrity, and I run my business with integrity, generosity, love, kindness, compassion, inclusion, community, these are my top values. Therefore, anybody that I'm going to coach and consult, any of my clients, these are the values that I'm going to be imparting to them. I'm going to be talking to them about being ethical in your business, about including people, about building a community. And this is why people that are coming to me, they are going to resonate with my values. And that is the kind of coach you want, not just somebody who has the success you want, someone who has the success you want and also has the values that are important to you. Because otherwise, you try to do what they tell you to do, but it doesn't resonate with you because their values are different. Very important.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. So, getting back to uh, getting started in the beginning,
Yeah.
because I know people, there's so many people who are struggling. They want to get started, but they just run into so many problems. Could you share with us perhaps three of the most difficult personal obstacles that you had to face when you got started?
Difficult personal obstacles.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not so young anymore. When I started, I was really young, and I had to struggle with that obstacle because people didn't take me seriously because I had my big Texas hair, which is not as big anymore, and my bright outfits. And clearly I was in my late 20s when I started. And that's okay, because what happens is usually once I opened my mouth and started to do my thing, they would get that I had value to bring. That was the first one. What I would say, it's interesting because I've had many challenges over the years, Luana, and they're all temporary setbacks. When you have determination, which I think is not, I think, determination is one of the essential qualities that I have cultivated, that you have determination, it's just another roadblock. It's to cast aside. It's another roadblock to go over or around. It's not going to stop you from going down the road. And that is how I have proceeded. So yeah, there's been a lot of things. I'm divorced now, and my marriage was very challenging the last few years, and I didn't let that stop me. And other things, other people have gotten sick, or people I love have gotten sick. I didn't let that stop me. It's not that I didn't take time for those things, but if you're looking for an excuse to not be in business anymore, there's an excuse every day. It's about commitment. I mean, you could always find something. I could give you 10 reasons, not 10, maybe 3 reasons right now that I could go get a job and not do this anymore. But you know what? Oh, I don't want to live that way. That's why I'm determined to be in business.
You remind me of my mother. Determination, commitment, and faith all they're intermingled. And I like to tell a story about my mother who was committed to working for the post office, having a car, having some money in the bank, and her own home. And she didn't stop till she accomplished all
Right.
four of those goals. It took her years, but she stuck with it. She never gave up.
Well, Luana, I love that story because, people probably said to her, why are you working so hard? You know, well, she's working hard because she had goals that she wanted to accomplish. And believe me, I've heard that many times. Why are you always working? Because I have goals and I have people to serve. And it makes me happy.
Exactly. And you're right. There were people who thought she was wasting her time or thought she felt like she was better than them, but she didn't let anything stop her. She just went for what she wanted. So I'm very proud of her. And I'm working on that kind of commitment, determination, and faith that she had. So, but I'm getting there.
Good.
So, um, well, if there were, I was going to say, if there was a any one thing that you could look back on and say it's because of this that I had the ability to understand what I was doing and how to accomplish it. Um, is there anything that you'd like to share with us that tell us how you stayed committed and really worked on it? I know you talked about determination, but is there anything else that
Yeah,
you?
well, what keeps me going is when people say thank you.
Mhm.
And when people post on Facebook, one of my clients said today, she said, I was gold. And I just thought that was so sweet,
Mhm.
and appreciated it. And so the appreciation and the acknowledgement means a lot.
Mhm.
And that keeps me going. My desire to be of service keeps me going. And there's also, of course, the financial benefit, you know. I I don't know a better way, Luana, to make good money, you know, that where my business pays for stuff and I get to take ladies on trips, you know. We just came back from 5 days in Maui. We're going on a 7 day California coastal cruise. Next year, we're going to Alaska for 10 days. Last year, we did Mexico for 10 days. You know, my business pays for me to do this, and other people pay me to come and do it with me. That sounds pretty good to me, and I'm happy that that's what I get to do, you know, and watch women transform in the process. What could be better?
Well, I know I've seen a number of people who have come out of your program and become very successful.
Thank you.
Now I know that's because of you, because they most of them, I haven't heard anybody who said, "Well, I could have done it myself." It's always Caterina helped me.
Thank
Caterina saw the problem and told me what I needed to do. So you have accomplished a great deal. Um, you mentioned about the various trips that you go on, and I
you.
know that you do a lot of things. Just how many events do you put on during the year?
Yeah. Well, there's three trips that we have done this year and last year, and next year we'll do three. The events and retreats program and cruise. In January, we're starting the speaker mastermind cruise, which is a new exciting program and product for where you get to actually come on the ship and work on your speeches and practice your offers and your stories. So that's really exciting. And my plan is to do that annually, Luana, because I think that the ladies will love it. And we're always upgrading, right? We can always be better speakers and up our game even more. And then, of course, we do the annual luxury retreat. And in addition to that, I run virtual programs. I do a catapult program maybe 3 times a year, which is a 3-month program. I have a year-long come and be an awesome speaker program. It's like a mentorship program for women that want to build their businesses with speaking. And so to fill all of those, I do 3 to 4, sometimes 5 workshops per quarter in different area codes. And I love it. And that's good because I meet a lot of new people. And then, of course, I do speeches and speak at conferences and in at associations and groups to invite people to my workshops. And it's working very well. And this is part of what I teach my
Wow.
clients.
Well, since you stay so busy, how do you have time for yourself?
Excuse
I
me.
mean, these
Well,
aren't things that you throw together. It requires a lot of work.
two things, Luana. First of all, you know I have an awesome team,
Mhm.
and everybody needs a team because there's 5 things that successful women in business are doing. Okay, they're speaking, they're selling, they're serving their clients, they're doing the strategy, the planning, and then of course the self-care, right? Because if you're
Uh-huh.
not taking care of yourself, can't be of massive service to others, right? So those are the 5 pillars of every fempire builder, okay? So that's what I focus on: speaking, selling, serving, strategy, and self-care. And therefore, I have a team that helps me book the venue, do the graphic design, do the web design, do some of the logistical aspects of it, because my job is to serve my clients, speak and sell, take care of myself and do the strategy, right? So this is the thing that I want women to know, is that you can't do everything and expect that you're going to be awesome at everything. You're not going to be awesome at everything, but more importantly, that's not the highest and best use of your time. You want to do what's the highest and best use of your time so that you become masterful at it. Like those 5 things are not just like because you should do them, it's like you want to be masterful at them. And how can you be masterful if you're doing everything else? Well, that's it. And then, yeah, you know me, Luana, I'm looking for my new boyfriend and I need help with that too.
Well, one of these days I may be joining you in that. But getting back to the team, and you
Yeah.
mentioned, how do you go about building a good team? I
Okay.
hear that question quite often from people
Yeah.
who are just getting started.
So here's the thing. Excuse me. Here's the thing.
Mhm.
We talked earlier. I said, you know what? You want a mentor who has the same values as you, right? I said that.
Uh-huh.
We also want our team members to have the same values as us, like genuine caring. I need to make sure my team genuinely cares about me and my clients. Now, somebody else may not have that value. Okay. For me, it's essential.
Mhm.
Also, having a positive disposition is essential for me, for my, I only want positive disposition clients, and I only want positive disposition team members. And I only want positive disposition vendors. I don't want any complaino people. I don't want anybody, people that are, not solution focused, right? So
Mhm.
that's the people that I want around me in my business. And so what I'm saying is to create a criteria for who you want on your team. Now, your criteria has both specific things that you want, somebody that knows how to use Excel, somebody that's social media savvy. Okay, you have those things, but then you have the psychographics, you have the positive outlook, the integrity, the genuine caring, good communicator. You have those things as well. So before you go and look for someone, you put together your criteria of who you're looking for.
That's good advice. That's
Mhm.
very good advice. I'm going to give a shout out for your VA, Judy. I think she is just the absolute bomb. I love her. Anytime I have spoken with her, she's one of those people that just makes you excited to hear her talk, you know? So
Yeah,
just let her know I really appreciate it anytime I speak with her. So, anyway,
thank you.
now that we've learned a little bit about how you got started um, and why you got started, why you like what you're doing. And we've even learned about how you handle yourself when you're really super busy, which I love. Have you ever felt stressed? And if you have, how did you find peace again?
Oh, my friend, I've been stressed many times. I was very stressed this morning. And part of it is taking a break, and gratitude, as you know, is very important. Being grateful throughout the day for what's right in front of you, as well as your overall life. And gratitude is essential. They say it's actually good for the brain, gratitude. And moving your fanny, my fanny, is important. Getting a good night's sleep is essential for managing stress. All of these self-care things.
Mhm.
I'm into drinking raw celery juice and intermittent fasting. So these are other strategies that I use, and go to the chiropractor and get a massage and all those kinds of things as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm going to ask you one more question. And it's because I heard you mention this at your speaking boot camp. And so I just kind of want the rest of the world to hear what you had to say about this. If you were restarting today with $0 and had no way to get any money because everything was just had collapsed,
Right.
how would you how would you start over and build yourself back up?
You're talking about my apocalypse theory, my friend.
Yes.
Okay, well, here's my apocalypse theory. So my apocalypse theory is that, there may be a time when the banking system goes down and there's no electricity and social media is gone, and we're just stuck with us. I don't hope this ever happens, but my point is that if you can give a speech, you can come home with clients. And I'm going to go to Golden Gate Park. I'm going to tack a flyer on the tree. I'm going to say, meet here at 3 o'clock tomorrow to talk about how to thrive after the apocalypse, and then I'm going to give my talk. And at the end, I'm going to invite everybody to join my group program on how to thrive after the apocalypse. And I'm going to take whatever they want to barter as payment, and I will live like a queen very quickly. That's the idea. Because, and Luana, I know I make a joke of it. Truth is that speaking is the best way to walk out of your house and come home with clients that never met you a few hours later because you've given them massive value in your talk. And I'm all about giving massive value, and speaking builds instant influence so that people see that you have massive value to bring, and then you invite them to be your client. And it works extremely well. Now, it takes a little time to get it down, and sometimes it works awesome, and sometimes it doesn't work quite as awesome. And you stick with it, because that's part of the determination, right? Is, keeping the party moving, as you hear me say many times. Even now, I'll do a workshop where I'll get 6 clients in one day for a big program, and I'll do from 20 people. That's which is okay. And some days I'll do it and might just get 1 or 2. But that doesn't mean more people might not join later. There's what I like to say, now clients now and more clients later, or the Insta clients and the slow cooker clients. There's both. You stay in the game.
Okay. Well, we're coming to the close of our show, and I would like you to take a minute or two in which you can share with people, because I think you're awesome.
Thank
And
you.
as I say, I know people who have worked with you, and the accolades that they lay at your feet is just fantastic. So share with our audience how they can get in touch with you, uh,
Yeah.
learn more about what you do.
Okay, great. Well, the best way is to send me a personal message on Facebook. I'm there most of the day, or often throughout the day if I'm not speaking. And my name is CaterinaRando.com, and I'm sure it will be in the notes. CaterinaRando. Send me a personal message. You can also look at my business page, which is Thriving Business, or you can look at my personal page, and we have free webinars coming up. We have a free ebook that people can get. My website is, I believe if you go to CaterinaRando.com/free gift, there'll be a link there to some free gifts, and that's CaterinaRando.com.
Okay. And is there perhaps an email that they could?
Sure, a cat at CaterinaRando.com, CAT at CaterinaRando.com. You can email me, and I'm happy to connect with you. My first preference is Facebook. Second preference is text. Third preference is phone. My fourth preference is email. So Facebook me is the fastest way to get a hold of me.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. Well, we've enjoyed having you on here today, and I am going to invite you back again. It's been a really great
Yay!
to have you share that wonderful knowledge. You're such a great person to speak with.
Thank
So
you, Luana.
I look
I
forward
salute.
to that. I
Thank
want to
you.
thank all of you for tuning in with us. We appreciate that. I want to remind you that my website is lawanagparker.com, and the new one that's going up is courage to live your my dream.com. So we want you to
Yay!
pay attention to those where you can learn more about what's happening around our little world here today. So,
Love it.
Caterina, do you have any last words that you'd like to say to the audience?
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for asking. So one thing, my friends, is that, we all have ideas about what we want to do, and many people sit around and try to figure it out, and that's not where stuff gets figured out. Most of it gets figured out in doing it. I want to encourage people to take action, to schedule your first workshop, to go out and speak, to, start that business, whatever it is. Don't get ready to begin to think about getting going. Get your party started.
Great words to live by. Again, thank you for being a part of this show, and thank all of you for listening in. We do so appreciate it. And we want to encourage you to share this podcast with your family and friends, because maybe you don't need what's being said today, but someone else you know may need to hear what's being said. So just share the podcast and the video with your family and friends, and let's get everybody on board. So thank you again, Caterina. I love you.
I love
Appreciate
you.
you being here.
Thanks, my friend.
Good to go. Well, hello, Tanya.
Hi.
It's such an awesome pleasure to have you here. You have been doing some really magnificent things, and I am just in awe of you, girl. I can't believe the growth that you have done in this past year. So before we get going here, I just want to mention that my name is LaWanda Parker, and I am the host and CEO of this program. And my most welcome guest is none other than Tanya Tyus Parker. And of course, there's no relation, but we are very good friends. I'm so excited for her. Tanya, before I start asking you questions, could you share a little bit about who Tanya Tyus Parker is?
Oh my goodness, that wasn't on the cheat sheet. Um, well, um, Tanya, I guess I'm originally from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, East Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm a self-starter, a very determined person. I moved to California some 31, 32 years ago. I still don't claim to be from California, but let me leave here to go back east, and then all of a sudden I'm ready to come. California becomes home. So I'm got two children, two grown boys. Just found out today I'm having my fourth granddaughter.
Ooh, congratulations.
Yes, so we're all excited about that.
Oh, new babies. It's a shame they can't stay babies. They're so precious, man. But
Yeah, they are. They are. Um, then
the
they
good
turn
thing
in. The
is
oldest is 13, and that's uh,
that I was just gonna say the good thing is that when they're your grandchildren, you can love them and spoil them and then send them home.
not when they live in the next room.
Oh, darn. Be careful.
I know. I know.
Well, for those who don't know Tanya, Tanya is really a go-getter. Tanya has the kind of strength and courage and character that we all need. Uh, she went through a really rough period where most of us would have been down. She wants to talk about that. I'll let her, but I just want to say that most of us would have been down. We would have more or less given up or thought it's over, but not Tanya. Tanya stepped up and said she wasn't going to let anything hold her back. And I'm telling you, she has not let anything hold her back. So, Tanya, how did you get started in business?
Wow. I was in the middle of thinking about that the other day, and I have to look back, and it was with a paper route when the time I was 13 years old, delivering a little local newspaper. Being from the Midwest, having two jobs is a minimum.
Mm,
It's a requirement. So I've always been working at at something, whether it be for someone else or it be for myself. So moving to California, I already came here with a mindset of a, a entrepreneur. I knew that I always wanted to work for myself. I really wasn't very felt very unappreciated as an employee of a company, waiting
mm,
for someone else to say, "Hey, you did a good job."
mhm.
You know, Customers always thought I did a good job. My supervisors weren't so sure. They weren't so sure. I was a little difficult to manage.
Ah, so do you think that perhaps the go-getting spirit that started you with the paper route and the various other jobs that you uh, had over the time gave you the necessary skills and the mindset to be a business person?
Yeah, I can say that it definitely did. At 19, I worked 3 jobs. I taught preschool during the day, left the preschool, went to work at J.C. Penney's in the catalog department for Christmas, and then I left there and went to work at the casino until 5 o'clock in the morning, and started all over again. And still found time to have fun and hang out with my friends on the weekends.
Well, I'm curious. Uh, I know you do coaching,
Mhm.
so why coaching and why the legendary events?
I've always been interested and always been, I come from a family who likes to give a lot of parties.
Mm-hmm.
And back east, we had a casino, so I've always cooked, I've always catered, I've always waited tables and served people. And having events was a weekend thing. It was something that happened every weekend, whether it be a birthday party in one half of the casino and a anniversary party in the other half, and so there was always some activity going on at the casino, at someone's home, or some kind of ball. We gave a lot of balls back east, potentate ball, black and white ball, lots of social, cultural things.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came here, I really missed that. And I started throwing my own parties and having my own events. And I really enjoyed it. And as the boys got older, I kind of threw myself into their sports. So my life became 5 o'clock in the morning, wrestling gym with a bunch of stinky, sweaty boys until 6 o'clock in the evening, in the gym with stinky, sweaty boys or sitting on a football bench in the rain, soaking wet,
Mm-hmm.
watching, the boys play ball. So,
Wow, you've always been busy, it seems.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I can testify to the fact that she really is good at what she does. Some of you may know that I lost my husband earlier this year, and Tanya was one the person who I called on to help with celebrating his life, and she did a wonderful job, just fabulous. And I received a lot of accolades about it, but it was really Tanya who put it all together. Her crew was there. They they served. They cleaned up. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better turnout and a better event than what you did. The decorations, everything was just fabulous. So I want to make sure people know that about you. You did a fantastic job that day. Um, Tanya, you are legendary event, but you do more. I know you have something. In fact, you have several somethings coming up. Share with us something about those events that are coming up, and perhaps how people might get in touch with you if they have a desire to be there.
Well, my favorite part of doing events is coaching. I love to coach women entrepreneurs how to market their business through doing events and speaking and getting them on stage and having them talk about what they know, tell their stories, teach what they know. Um, I've had a lot of jobs, like you said, and so I kind of had to I just now take it and I teach what I know. I teach what I learned. So I have, after a year or two of battling cancer, understanding that I'm going to live with it, I kind of decided that I'm going to go back to what was fun for me to do. And doing events with women is one of those things that's fun for me to do. And so we've got a Women in Business conference coming up August 30th and 31st at the Fairfield Inn and Courtyard Marriott. And we're bringing over a dynamic speaker from London, or so they call it, the UK, as his name is Des O'Connor. And he's going to come here, and we've got some wonderful speakers, Tanya Hoffman, Caterina Rando. There's a Christy, I think Lawana's speaking at that event. We got a bunch of women that are going to get up and give you some super business tips and tell you how to get your business up and going or take it to the next level. And that's what we really want to do as women entrepreneurs, is to learn what we need to know to grow.
Well, yes, I am speaking, and I'm excited about it. Looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a very exciting event, and it's just seems so awesome that you're not just working with people here in the continental United States, but you're reaching overseas and working with people. That is just awesome. So now, you have something else, I believe, that's going to be coming up. Did you want to share something about that?
Yeah, the legendary women's event is going to happen at the end of September, early October, and it's going to be my signature event. I think it's going to be a women's mentoring event. It's
Mhm.
going to be a leadership conference, but we really want to put some young entrepreneurs in front of some women leader coaches to help mentor them as they go through and develop their businesses.
Wow. Well, when you have so much that you're doing, and you are doing a lot. I mean, she's only told you about a couple of things. I know for other things that are on her plate that she mentioned, and I think it's probably because she doesn't want to overwhelm you. But she is a very busy person, and I'm just curious. Um, how do you handle the busyness? I mean, there has to be a time when, uh, as organized as you are, that sometimes you must get just tired and stressed. And how do you take care of yourself? How do you find time to take care of yourself?
Well, as I shared with you, I'm still on chemotherapy. You know this,
Mhm.
and I'm going to be on it for the rest of my life. Now, what gets me up in the morning is having something to do, is planning a party, is planning an event, is putting the bits and pieces together for the grand finale, to have something that people can come in and go, "Ooh, I like that. Oh, I like that." You know? So that's what gets me going. Now, on the days that I don't have something to do, I have to take a rest. I do. I may do Hallmark Channel all day. I may go to the gym and do some aqua aerobics kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and I really take time to rest, because if I don't, then, the chemotherapy will take a toll on me.
Mhm.
But I can let me know that there's an event coming up or something that somebody wants to have done, and I will pull this team together and we will get it done, and I'll fall apart later. I'll relax later. I'll take care of myself later. But I do take time to take care of myself.
Well, I know there were a couple of events that you did here recently that I thought was just really awesome, just um, magnificent. And I don't know if they remember to thank you for what you did, but I got to tell you, they were great. The one that was in Sebastopol, that was a beautiful place, and the settings and things were just outstanding. And then there was the one that you did, I believe it was Fairfield or Vallejo.
Vallejo. Uh-huh.
Right.
That was my client.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that was
Women creating change.
that was really something to be a part of, and I'm so glad I went to it because it was just wonderful. Um,
And I love to support women to do those kinds of things, to stretch them. They say, "Oh, Tanya, you make me sweat. You make me sweat." But I if you don't don't sweat, if you don't stretch, if you don't grow, that smile that was on her face as all of her friends came in and all of these wonderful women came in and she got to watch them learn and grow and become more involved in their community, it was worth every penny to see that look on her face.
Well, it wasn't my event, but I got to tell you, I just felt really terrific being a part of it, just being in the audience. So, congratulations on two successful events that I'm aware of because I was there. You do great work. So, others who may be, well, sometimes people want to step out there and they're afraid. Uh, how do you help someone who wants to get in, not necessarily what you do, but any type of business?
Sure,
And
sure.
they're just constantly afraid. Well, I don't have enough skills. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the techniques. I don't know how to communicate well. How do you encourage them to step out on faith and do what they do?
Well, my coaching style is a little different. As a corporate trainer, I practiced my craft and perfected it at teaching and working with people shoulder to shoulder. I'm not going to give you a long list of things to go and do. I'm going to work with you to get them done. We're going to go over things. I'm going to let you ask the question that you don't understand. Because in doing it, fear will shut us down. Fear will make us not want to do it. But if we can walk through it with a coach that's right there, then we get it done, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. And then all it is wash, rinse, repeat.
You mentioned coach. How important is it that a person have a coach? And I would say even a mentor. How important is it that you have a coach and a mentor?
It's absolutely imperative that you have a coach. If you want to be a coach, you got to have a coach or two or three.
Mhm.
You have to be a good Indian before you can be a good chief. That's what the 13-year-old paper girl had to learn. She had to learn to be a good Indian and realize that everything she needed to know to get along in this world, she learned in kindergarten. She learned to say please and thank you. She learned to play with others. She learned all of these things, and now we just put them to work for us.
Okay.
And a mentor is, I was blessed to have a wonderful mentor, an absolutely wonderful man who I don't think I could have gotten through the cancer, uh, multiple myeloma without him. He's no longer with us, but I miss him every day, every day.
I know who you're speaking of, Tony Wilkins, and you're right. He was a person to greatly admire and very supportive individual. And I was going to ask you who you favorite as a mentor, and so you just cleared that up for us to let us know that Tony was probably one of the. Uh,
And I look at mentors as different. Mentorship relationships and protege relationships come from someplace different than coaching.
mhm,
Tony led with his heart. And so it wasn't, did you do this? Did you do that? Are the things that asking questions.
mhm.
It was more of his, what do you need and how can I help? He led with his heart, and our instant connection, thanks to you, was because of that. It really was because of that. So I learned so much from him. He was such a giving person. So I was really fortunate and blessed to have a mentor as well as coaches who I had made investment with and got great return on that investment. I really believe that I've gotten a lot of value from my coaches, and I continue to get a lot of value from my coaches.
You mentioned coaches, and you actually said a coach or two or three.
Hmm.
Why would a person need more than one coach, and should they be different types of coaches if they're going to have more than one coach?
Well, as a coach, you need to realize where you need help. And when I first started this, I knew that I needed help with sales calls. I hated sales calls. Couldn't stand it, didn't get it. Um, I also needed help with putting my programs together. And then I needed a coach that would teach me how to package events and retreats and things that I really wanted to do. Now, as a manager and a trainer, I was able to have three coaches and have them stay in their lane and manage them and go to them knowing what thing I went to them for. You know what I'm saying? I went to one coach for sales. I went to another coach for packaging and structure and author type things. And then another coach I went for with my branding and my business model and those types of things. So everybody can't take direction from three people, but they all know about each other. They're all good friends. They know their strengths. They referred me to each other because of their strengths. Here's somebody can help you with this. Here's another coach that can help you with that. So that's one thing I like about our community is that nobody's trying to cut anybody's throat. Nobody's trying to not promote each other. We promote each other. We support each other. And by support each other, I don't mean by just saying, oh, here's a referral for you. But we go, we show up, we pay, we invest, and we treat each other as professionals. So yeah, I had three coaches. I have two now, and one is still a very dear friend.
Tell us, for those who may not fully understand, when you say community, exactly what does that mean?
A community, when I say community, I mean a community of women, like-minded women entrepreneurs, women who are not in competition, but there to lift and support each other. Not not coming from a place of scarcity, not really wanting and caring about each other.
Mhm.
Somebody that you can call and say, hey, this is going on, I've got this problem, what should I do? Sometimes coaching can be kind of lonely if you don't have even in a school structure, teachers have other teachers that they can talk to.
Mhm.
And so coaching and the community that we fostered here in Sacramento and in the Bay Area is a community of women who are there for each other in our business, in our lives. We've become friends. We respect each other. There's, like I said, no competition. It's all about helping one another and lifting each other up. We don't have time for the pettiness.
Mhm. And how do you go about finding those particular uh, individuals? Because you can also end up with, as you say, you don't have pettiness, but if you don't know how to go about finding the right people, you can end up with people who can destroy what you set up with their pettiness.
We have our values. And as business women and women in business, all we have are our values. And if a person does it, our values don't jive, then that person is not a good person for me to be in community with. You have to sit down and write down the things that are most important to you. Is being on time important to you? Is working with someone who's honest important to you? Or is making lots of money important to you? So these are the criteria by which you build a community of women, and it's totally up to you to set those boundaries. And people will come and go. You don't have to be rude or nasty. You kind of get a sense of what's going to work and what's not going to work. And it's funny how it works out. The people that aren't meant to be there are will go, and the people that are meant to be there will stay.
Very
As
good.
long as you have a good, clear, you're clear about the values that you bring to your business and you stand up for your business.
Thank you. That's very clear, and that's a good explanation of how to create a community and how to maintain it. I noticed that we're getting close to our closing time, and I want you to have time to uh, tell the audience how they can contact you if they would like to attend your event, especially the one that's coming up next month. Before you know it, next month is here, and this
Yeah.
event. So there may be some people who would love to come and be in the audience. If you could share with them how they can do that, and also let them know how they can contact you, because from what you're sharing with us about what you can do, I'm sure there are a number of people out there who would love to have your help with their events.
And I'll be recruiting and giving I have small group meetings once a month. This one it'll be July 27th from 10 to 4 at the Women's Entrepreneurial Center, and we'll be doing kind of like a mastermind on how to do events and retreats and things of that nature as marketing for your business.
Mhm.
And I keep it to a small group because I really want to um, give everybody individual attention, and we have a free exchange of ideas. The tickets for that are only $47. If you purchase a ticket, you can bring a friend for free. So, and we will provide lunch, and you will get a workbook at that event. That's July 27th. And you can reach me at 916-899-1788, or look up Coach Tanya Tyus on Facebook. And we have our Women in Business event coming up in August. And Legendary Events is the name of my company, and we're presenting Des O'Connor's his Women in Business launch here in California. So that one, you'll go to the website Des O'Connor's ORSUSAtours.com and check it out. If we still have room for a couple more speakers, we still have some exhibit space available, and tickets are going fast. So you want to go to the website and get your tickets, and you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this.
Oh, sounds
I
fabulous.
had I had the pleasure of hearing Des speak in London, and man, I tell you, he really gets the crowd going.
Oh, you did go to London. We're going to have you back so you can tell us about your trip to London, because that had to be truly special. For those of you who don't know, I don't fly and I don't take the water. So I have to live vicariously through others who do that. So I want to know all about the trip, all about everything that happened there. And if you got any pictures, oh God, we got to have all of that. So we're going to have you come back. All right.
No problem, no problem.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And thank you for being on the program. I've enjoyed chatting with you. And is there anything that you would like to say that perhaps I failed to ask you about? If you can take a moment to share that. So,
I'd just like to say, don't be afraid to live your life. Don't let life happen to you. Stop letting it happen to you. Step out there. If entrepreneurship is what you want to do, then live your life and make every moment legendary.
Amen to that. And with that, I just want to say, live your dreams. We're happy that you were with us. We look forward to joining us again. Thank you again, Tanya, for being a part of the program. We love you, and we're looking forward to having you on here again. And all of you in the audience, thank you. I love you all. I appreciate the fact that you took a little time to spend with us. Until next time, take care.